It's a good thing I don't have vertigo or some other ridiculous phobia.
Bonjour!
Ah! French parrots!
Company! Attention!
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Ooh. Sorry about that, guys. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Liam 501st channel. I had a little bit of a technical issue with my build cam, but I'm just going to have to roll with it as it is. So, tonight, building. As you know, this past weekend was Brickworld Chicago. And so I thought, what better way to go live and build one particular set from Brickworld Chicago. This is the 20th anniversary Slave One from 2019. The guy that sold it to me said it was 100% complete. So we shall find out if it is indeed 100% complete. All right, and I'm joined today by a couple of people. A few will coming in, but right now, currently, we have our former joining us. How you doing, Freddie?
Hey, I'm all right. Is my audio working all right? We're all good?
Yes, audio's working all right.
Awesome. That was my major concern.
Yeah, I don't know if you were listening, but I just had my building cam up here, and then this cam that I was going to swap.
Oh, don't worry. I was blasted all the same.
I was like, what the heck is going on? So I'm not sure how I'm going to fix that. But nonetheless, what are you building tonight?
I'm just working a bit on my computer. I'm working on some reimaginings of some classic sets. This is the first one I've put out. Oop, there we go. This is it's kind of a small one, but it's a remake of the original Space Scooter from 1978, I believe.
Very cool.
So I'm just working on some more of those on stud.io.
All right. We do have Chris in the chat saying we're good. All righty. Sounds good. All right. Be sure to subscribe, everybody.
Yeah.
The Slave One, the 20th anniversary. A good sign is that the guy that sold it to me put all the figures in this bag.
It has Zuckus and everything?
It does, in fact, have Zuckus.
Oh, boy. Now, remind me again, how much did you pick this up for?
So the guy was asking 150, I believe, and he was one of the guys that didn't have a stand at the garage sale, so he was just walking around going, Slave One, 150 bucks, please, someone take it. And I was like, all right, my friend, would you take 100 bucks for it? I'll take it off your hands. And he's like, I do 130. And I said, how about 120 and we'll call it a day? And then he said, how about we meet in the middle, 125? And I was like, you're sure it's 100% complete? And he basically said it was on his shelf for years and he just took it apart. So yes, he said it was that. So we made a deal at 125.
Dude, at that point, I mean, if you get it for 120, like there's no point in arguing that any further. I mean, that's like what, 210 bucks now?
The Slave One?
It is. Because Zuckus by himself is like 50, 60 bucks.
Gotta check this out.
It's up there.
Slave 1. I'm gonna even share my screen. Let's take a look at this. Sharing screen, share screen. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, used this says it's around $160. I'm gonna go in and see what the deal is here.
There it is. All right.
Yeah, so the one I'm looking at is $130, but it doesn't have the figures.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so used, it does. So basically, if I was at Bricks and Minifigs, the used price in between 135 and 180, so it'd probably be around, what, 150, 160?
Oh, higher than that, probably 170, I'd say.
Yeah, because it's Star Wars. And then sealed, it's going for 185 to 230.
So
That's
it says
great.
right here, there's one that's missing 8 parts. That's 140, but it has all the figures.
Yeah, and then I saw the bag of figures and I asked him about it, and he said, "Oh yeah, figures are all there." I examined, especially Boba Fett, because my big one was, it could be all the figures could be gone except for Boba Fett, and I would be totally fine because
We gotta have Boba Fett.
exactly. I have the Boba Fett from the 2012 skiff, but obviously that one's better not be the same one.
Well, I'd honestly be looking out more for that Zuckus because the Boba Fett, I believe, is the same one that comes in that carbonite chamber from 2016.
Yeah. So here, I'll stop sharing my screen.
Oh boy.
Yeah, pretty much. So this is the Boba from the skiff from 2012, and then here's the one from the Slave 1. So different cloth piece, and then the slightly better detail on the newer one, but overall not too many differences.
Have you seen the new one from the mech?
Yeah, not a fan of the fact that it doesn't have the cloth piece thingy.
I mean, but it has arm printing and a new headpiece, you know? Like, you can't really be mad at that.
But if it's, I would have then just rather done the Book of Boba Fett if they weren't going to include the cloth piece. That's a pretty good figure. All right, and then we got 20th anniversary Leia, and then we've got Bespin Han Solo. What's funny is I actually picked up, I don't know, 2 years ago, Bespin Han Solo from Bricks and Minifigs. Good stuff.
Well, it's not
and then, obviously, him in carbonite.
It's not a bad figure to have multiple of. You put one in the Slave 1, you put one in the Falcon.
Yeah. I'm going to actually make a video about how you can turn the Force Awakens Millennium Falcon into an original trilogy Millennium Falcon. Not that hard, but worth making a video on.
So what are like the main differences besides the radar dish? Because I know the radar dish and I know the inside is a bit different.
I don't really know if there is, because what inspired me to potentially make that video is the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga game. Literally does that. It takes that Millennium Falcon model
and they put like the radar dish on it. Yeah.
All they changed was the radar dish.
Yeah.
That was it.
But it's also weird because if you look at the Skywalker Saga, sometimes they put like the UCS Millennium Falcon, and then in between shots it changes to the 2015 Falcon.
The UCS to the 2015?
Yeah, it changes a lot. It's like really inconsistent.
Yeah, it does that. And then I remember in the Force Awakens game, I think they used the 2011 Millennium Falcon when they did Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And then when you're flying it, it's the 2015 Falcon. But then anytime you're on a planet and it's sitting just in landing position, it's automatically the UCS one with the different radar dish.
Yeah, it's the 2007 one with the new radar dish.
What's going on over here? Stand by. Give me a second. Stupid. I had this whole rig set up to where you could see what I was building, and then too much background noise or too much echoing. Very annoying.
I'm I'm thinking of starting back up. I mean, I did like a couple incredibly low quality videos like 2 years ago, and those are gone. Those are gone. I privated those because they're cringe. But no, I have a few ideas that I want to do and a few things that I feel like I could put out there. So I might just film a couple and see how it goes. The only main thing is that I want them to be high quality, and I don't know where to start, because when you're starting out, it's a really daunting task of figuring out what editing software to use, like what camera you want to use and all that stuff.
I just use iMovie.
Yeah, that's kind of what I settled on, was that if you can like use an amalgamation of a couple different resources, you can basically get all the features in Photoshop by using like 4 or 5.
Yeah. All right, let's lay this crazy thing out.
Oh boy.
Well, it's a good sign that all the sticker pieces are there.
You sorting it out first, or you just building the whole thing?
I was hoping I would get back in time because I was at Six Flags for most of the day.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get back in time to sort it out, but I don't know if that's a really good allocation of time.
Well, I mean, you got time now.
I do have time now. I don't know how long this is going to run, but who cares?
You can run. Ooh, excuse me for a second there.
The only thing about last time when I did this when I was at Disney's, I had to get up the next morning super early, and it ran way later than I wanted it to.
Well, tomorrow's a Sunday.
Tomorrow is a Sunday. All right, let's download this bad boy.
I think I might get a new phone soon because my old phone's kind of old.
What is your current phone?
I have an iPhone. I believe I have an iPhone 10 or 11.
Okay.
Let me look it up really quick. I'm thinking about a 13.
I currently have an iPhone 12, and I think it works great. All right.
Yeah, I believe I have an iPhone 10.
I was going to think about getting an iPhone 11, but then well, look who it is joining us now.
Oh
boy.
How's it going, Lou?
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Good. Good. Yourself?
Well, considering that I just got back from seeing The Flash, I'm at a loss for words, I think. I don't know what to say.
Depressed and heartbroken?
I mean, here's the thing. Michael Keaton, bravo. Like, one person cannot save an entire film. I mean, he was in it to win it, but everything else was just playing against him. So,
speaking of Michael Keaton.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
That's the heart. That's what I'm talking about. Like, the movie had that heart in it, and he was giving 110%, and it was just like, speaking as an actor, it was like watching somebody being just destroyed. Like, you're trying, and everything else is just working against you. So all I can say is, like, you know what? R.I.P. DCEU, and may James Gunn bring the hope we need.
I'll say the DCEU died when they brought in Joss Whedon to fix Zack Snyder's vision.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Bottom line, I don't blame Zack Snyder. I don't blame Josh. I don't blame anybody. The people I blame are the ones at the top. Like, I blame Warner Brothers.
Absolutely.
Like,
You can hate Snyder's vision. It was their fault that they let it keep going. And then when they let it go for so long, and they're like, no, we don't want to do this anymore. And Zach's probably like, what the heck? You've been telling me to go full steam ahead this whole time.
Exactly.
It's like this. Yeah. It's like in Back to the Future 3, them getting the train going almost 88 miles an hour. They go past the point of no return, and then they're like, okay, we got to stop the train. Like, what? We're past the point of no return.
The sparks are already flying, boys. Like somebody's got to either shit or get off the pot.
Yeah. I wish James Gunn all the best.
Yeah.
I just really wish he had not fired Henry Cavill. That's the worst thing he could have possibly done, and it was the very first thing he did.
Well, I think he had to, there's no way that he could not have, because with what, at least from the interpretation that I'm understanding of how they want to go in this new direction, a younger Superman or a younger Kal-El is like James Cavill is aged out of that. Now, if they want to do like a future tense type of thing where they bring him back in some way, or this is the older version of it, sure, I'm totally down for that. But I don't know if at least hearing what they want to do with Superman, I don't know if he would be age appropriate at this time. That's all.
And then that I get, and if they're doing like a full reboot just to blow it all up, I get it. But then they're talking about James has floated the idea out of keeping characters like his wife's character, the Suicide Squad. Obviously, he was a part of that. And then characters like, there has been a rumor that Ezra Miller might stay on as the Flash. And characters like who else? And you even heard there was a rumor that maybe Amber Heard was going to stay on.
Oh, I think Warner Brothers just want to wash their hands of Miss Heard. So if this is an opportunity,
didn't she also like flee to another country or whatever?
Yes, it was called Atlantis, and unfortunately,
Pirates of the Caribbean 6, Pirates of the Caribbean, the insufferable woman, witch from Atlantis.
Yeah, so Amber Heard no longer resides in the United States.
Good, we don't.
Oh,
want
really?
Yeah, she fled the U.S. and she went to go live in Spain.
In Spain. Well, best of luck.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
To the Spanish people, not to Amber Heard.
To all.
And we've got our next panelist here tonight. We've got David.
We just have everyone, don't we?
Hello. Sorry, I'm a little late.
Buddy.
So
I just got on myself.
I had to try and pull you up on YouTube, and you weren't popping up. And I was like, "What are they talking about?" So I could hop in at a good moment because I was like, "I'm a little behind here." So
yeah, YouTube
how you guys doing?
I think the only person watching right now is Chris. But hey, I told him if he wants to come on, he can join.
Yeah, I think Ryan was playing with Kurt and Owen. So I don't know if they'll hop on afterwards. I don't know. It depends on how the gameplay will be tonight.
Yeah,
listen.
You remember last night? I was like, I'm done because my game was so laggy and bad. Speaking of, what's up, Chris?
Oh, there he is.
Oh boy.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
How are you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Living the dream. I was just going to say, David, to your point, you didn't want to miss anything. I'm just going to let you know the first thing we talked about was the Flash. So, shocker.
Oh, cool! Because I got back from it earlier.
Yes, I saw it today, and I was like, oh well, that was a movie.
I didn't hate it. I actually didn't mind it. It's a little bit tricky because, like, it's done. You know, that whole
yeah.
Part of the multiverse, if you want to speak it in that realm, it's done. It's done.
Yes.
It's done. They did all their nods, their jokes and stuff. I didn't think it was a bad movie. I could kind of see what some arguments would be for like CGI and stuff, but I think it was pretty good.
The babies?
Yeah, that's the CGI part that's a little bit.
I know. I don't want to spoil # no spoilers, but like, man, oh man. What did you think of Ezra Miller's performance? Let me ask you that.
No, I think his performance is good. I definitely enjoy him being the Flash, and his level of like comedic view versus like serious adaptation to situations, I think is good. I just, of course, don't approve of other things he has done as a person, but I mean, him portraying Flash, I think it's pretty good. I still think Grant Gustin did it better, but that's a different level. It's a completely different level. TV to movie is very different.
Right.
Yes, Grant Gustin is in fact the definitive person to play the Flash.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm gonna say,
how many of you have seen the '80s Flash with John Wesley Shipp?
That was
I've
great.
seen a little bit. And considering they brought him back.
Hamill as the Trickster.
I was just gonna say Mark Hamill as the Trickster was chef's kiss.
I mean, he voices him as the Trickster later too.
Yeah, in the series.
Yes, he did the Trickster in the Grant Gustin show, and then he even voiced the Trickster in the Lego.
Animated. And in the Justice League too, or the 90s Justice League.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's not gonna work. Stupid.
Were you trying to get a